You think the UK tax system is weird now? Well, buckle up, because what HMRC is doing today is nothing compared to absolute nonsense we used to put up with in the UK. We complain about VAT on sausage rolls, debates over whether a cake is actually a biscuit, and now we're even arguing about a strawberry sandwich. But that is just the tip of the weird tax iceberg, because British tax history has been genuinely unhinged at times. The kind of thing that makes you wonder if the old Treasury meetings were held in a pub after 5 pints. So today, we're going on a little time travel tour, back to an era where the government tried to tax everything from the amount of windows you have to the kind of beard you can grow. I've got 6 of the weirdest British taxes for you, and you've probably never heard of them. Number 1, the window tax. Probably one of the most infamous historical taxes. The window tax was introduced in 1696 and stuck around for over 150 years. The thinking being that the more windows means a bigger house, which means a household with more money. So they decided to slap a tax on each window. It's an interesting way of going about taxing the wealthy, but it wasn't particularly successful. I think you can guess what people did. Yes, they actually bricked them up. Entire buildings with bricked up windows just to avoid the tax. That's where we get the phrase daylight robbery. It's literally being taxed for letting the sun in. Number 2, the beard tax. Good old King Henry VIII. This guy broke up with the Catholic Church. He married 6 times and apparently really hated beards. It's said that he brought in a tax based on beard length, and it wasn't just one flat fee. The more upper class your beard looked, the more you paid. You could actually be fined for stylish facial hair. Imagine trying to expense your grooming routine on your next tax return. Number 3, the hat tax. Launched in 1780, the idea behind the hat tax was that if you wore a hat, you were probably posh, so let's tax it.
Huzzah! A man of quality!
Hats were legally required to carry a stamp showing the tax had been paid, and the hat sellers had to register with the government. If you faked the stamp, you could actually be executed. Yes, the death penalty for the terrible crime of hat fraud.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
It sounds like a joke, but it's written in actual tax law. Completely and utterly mad. Number 4, playing card tax. From 1710, the playing card tax saw every single deck of playing cards being taxed, and that's per card. Not just the pack. Each ace of spades needed to bear a stamped mark to show the tax had been paid. Forging these stamps was considered a serious offence, and like with the hat tax, sometimes even punishable by death. And here's the wildest bit. This tax lasted until 1960. Thankfully by then, dodging it didn't come with a tax sentence. But let this sink in. The Beatles were about to release their first single, and yet we were still taxing people for the joy of a cheeky card game. Number 5, wallpaper tax. Another classy one from the 1700s. If your wallpaper had a printed design, it was taxed. All because, you guessed it, you could afford a fancy wallpaper design, you must have been loaded. But the public wasn't having it. People got smart and started buying plain, untaxed wallpaper and then hand painting their own designs on top. Literal DIY decor just to dodge a tax bill. You've got to admire the energy. Dodging the tax man with a sponge brush and a tin of paint. It wasn't just craftiness, It was a quiet little protest happening in drawing rooms across Britain. Good on you. Number 6. The Bachelor Tax. At several points in British history, unmarried men were literally taxed just for not having a wife. The logic was apparently being single was bad for society, no heirs, no households, no wedding spending, a complete and utter disaster. In the late 1600s and again during the early 1800s, the government actually enforced laws that slapped single men with a special tax once they had reached a mature age and still hadn't tied the knot. Scary times indeed. So if you think VAT rules today are a bit confusing, try filling a return in 1785. Beard taxed, hat taxed, windows taxed, playing cards, yep, still taxed, not married, oh yeah, definitely taxed. Suddenly arguing over whether a strawberry sandwich actually counts as confectionery feels like completely light work. Want more weird tax history and the modern laws that still echo this madness? Check out my other videos, especially the ones breaking down the big UK tax changes coming in 2025, because the rules might not be quite as weird anymore, but they're still just as important.